Good morning, Robert. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week of our last week of summer school. I hope you're having a good week, buddy. Let's jump right in and do some Go Noodle Flow.
Melting, melting, melting. We all have those moments when we freeze. We can't move. We can't think. But with practice, we can get good at melting that frozen feeling. Let's freeze up and then melt. Stand up in a spot with a little space around you. Cross your arms and hold your shoulders with your hands. Carefully tuck your chin down and in. Tighten as many muscles in your body as you can. Let your body be frozen, like an ice statue. Feet tight, legs tense, belly tight, shoulders up. Now, even make a frozen face. Close your eyes, your mouth, your jaw, tight. Feeling frozen? Really still? Now, little by little, begin to melt. Let your chin stay low as your face softens and melts. Your jaw opens slightly, your eyes blink open, just a little. Your mouth and cheeks melt and feel soft. You're melting. Let your shoulders melt and go down. Hands let go. Arms glide down to your sides, melting. Let your legs melt too. Soften and bend. Melt. Try to melt all the way to the floor. Down, down, down. Let yourself be a blob, a puddle on the floor. Melted all the way to soft. Exhale long. Once frozen and tight, and now melted, a little more at ease. Let's do it again. This time, choose your own frozen statue. Be creative. Freeze your arms. Freeze your legs. Freeze your face. Make a funny face if you'd like. Freeze there. Tighten. Freeze, freeze, freeze. You're frozen. Close your eyes or keep them open. Stay frozen for just one more moment. Ready to melt? One icy part of you at a time begins to melt. Face, eyes, jaw, head, chin goes down, shoulders drop, fingers soften and droop, hands too, arms float down. You are melting. Let your legs allow you to melt down to the floor. Melt, 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 droop, settle, and rest. Melted. Try to feel at ease here. Soft. Check in on your body. Is any area still frozen? Notice that tightness. Melt it if you wish. Rest here. Breathe. Eyes are open or closed. Next time you feel frozen, in your mind or in your body, try to melt it away.
Sorry, bud. There was a technical difficulty getting that video to unfreeze. I hope you love the Go Noodle Flow as much as I do. It's my fave. Let's jump in and do some numbers and letters here, buddy. Okay. The number 1. There is only one Robert Percy. You, sir, have one nose, one mouth, and one big heart that we all love. The number 1. Move it over one time. The number 2. Robert, you have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 lungs that help you breathe. The number 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Move them over 1, 2 times. Next, the number 3. We have all these silly aliens on your screen because humans don't have anything with 3 on them, but aliens sure do. 1, 2, 3. The number 3. Next is our number 4. When we take our 2 hands and our 2 feet, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And lastly, our number 5 for a high five with mom. We have the number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give a high five like Dora. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. High five. Make sure you practice those on your Star app. And saying your names, the sound of your name. We've got the ruh, ruh, ruh for ruh, ruh, Robert. And we've got the the O sound for ruh, Albert. Then the B, 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 Rob, b, 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 ert. And then we know we put our E and our R together to make that sound for Rob, ert. And lastly, our letter T for Robert T. The T sound for Robert T. R-O-B-E-R-T. R-O-B-E-R-T. That's our favorite guy, Robert. Let's listen to when the band comes marching in, and hopefully nothing freezes this time.
Oh, when the drum comes marching in. Oh, when the drum comes marching in. It goes. When the drum comes marching in. Oh, when the tuba comes marching in. Oh, when the tuba comes marching in. It goes. When the tuba comes marching in. Oh, when the trumpet comes marching in. Oh, when the trumpet comes marching in. It goes. When the trumpet comes marching in. Oh, when the trombone comes marching in. Oh, when the trombone comes marching in. It goes. When the trombone comes marching in. Oh, when the clarinet comes marching in. Oh, when the clarinet comes marching in. It goes. When the clarinet comes marching in. Oh, when the flute comes marching in. Oh, when the flute comes marching in. It goes. When the flute comes marching in. Oh, when the cymbal comes marching in. Oh, when the cymbal comes marching in. It goes. When the cymbal comes marching in. Oh, when the band comes marching in. Oh, when the band comes marching in. It goes. the band comes marching in. When the band comes marching
Such a great song. We love that tune. I can't wait till we're back and Miss M can put that song on your Switch. That will make me a very happy person, I'm sure, with you too. Our type of music, our music genre for today is country music. So we're going to listen to a story called The City Mouse and the Country Mouse. Here it is. Oh, no. There we go.
Once upon a time, there were two mice who were cousins. One mouse lived in a small, simple house in the country. The other mouse lived in a large, stylish house in the city. One day, the city mouse went to visit his cousin in the country. The country mouse was very happy to see the city mouse. He invited his cousin to stay for dinner. The country mouse pulled two silver thimbles up to a spool of thread. The thimbles and spool of thread became two chairs and a table. He set the table with two acorn caps and a little birthday cake candle. He served a simple meal. They ate ripe peas and corn. As they were eating, the city mouse became less cheerful. Suddenly, he said, "Dear cousin, however do you put up with such plain food?" The country mouse was thoughtful for a moment. Then he replied, "My apologies, cousin, but this is what we eat most of the time in the country." The city mouse promptly invited the country mouse to come with him to the city. "Just wait until you taste the wonderful foods we have in the city," he said. "I can assure you, you will not want to return to the country." So the city mouse and country mouse set off. They scampered through the fields and the neighborhoods and into the city. They arrived late that evening. The country mouse saw immediately that his cousin lived in a very grand house. "Shh," said the city mouse as he entered the house through a little hole in the wall. "We don't want anyone to hear us." The city mouse led the way as he dashed from room to room, making sure no one was there. Finally, feeling safe, he waved his arm and invited his country cousin into a large dining room. Once there, they ran up the leg of a huge dining table. The remains of somebody's magnificent feast still lay spread out on the table. They had left behind their silverware, their crystal glasses, their napkins, and a lot of their delicious food. "This is how we eat every day in the city," said the city mouse. The country mouse could hardly believe it. There was so much fancy food. There were bunches of fresh green grapes left behind. There were even slices of a delicious chocolate cake with luscious icing. There was more food than the country mouse had ever seen before. The two mice got busy nibbling away. "Delicious," munched the country mouse. "I have never eaten such fine food." Then both mice stopped in the middle of a bite. They heard loud growls, snarls, and hisses nearby. "Quick, follow me," yelled the city mouse. He scampered to the floor with his cousin right behind him. At that very moment, an angry-looking cat raced into the dining room. The two mice ran for their lives. They escaped just in time, dashing through a small hole in the wall. "Whew, that was close," said the city mouse. "We'll wait here until they leave, and then we can finish our meal." But the country mouse was so frightened, he couldn't reply. He had never been in such danger before. He thought about his simple house in the country. He realized how much better he'd like it there. He decided that it was time to go home. The country mouse did not even say goodbye to his cousin. He picked up his belongings and scampered out of the city house. He ran all the way home to the country, where he felt safe and happy. So, the moral of the story is, there's no place like home. And now, boys and girls, it's time for a quick shout out for an awesome channel called Time with the Limes.
I liked that story. So even though that was just about living in the country, the kind of music we're talking about is country music. So I have a little country song for you to listen to that's for kids. So I hope you really enjoy it, and I will see you tomorrow, buddy. Have a great day. Bye, Robert.